The first thing that I've learned to do is to apply neuroplasticity. Now, what that means is that your brain, your neurological system is it's malleable, it's changeable. It is plastic. You can change the way that you think, the way that you respond mentally. Now, the reason I say this is it seems to me, and I've been doing this over 70 years. It seems to me that being autistic and dealing with the neurotypical world, what I call a hive mind, is that we are constantly in kind of a brain battle, a control for dominance in the way that we think. They want us to think this way, we want to think that way. And there is a divergence that causes conflict. And what I want to do is I want to be able not to change who I am, but I want to adapt. Not change, but to adapt to the neurotypical hive mind so that I can better function in a real world situation. And to do that, I need to I need to change my mind. I need to do some things that will help me change my mind. Now, you may notice that I'm wearing a sling here over my shoulder. Just got out of surgery 3 weeks ago. And learning to put on a sling is not an easy thing, or to put on this sling is not an easy thing. You got to learn how to do it. The first time I tried it, I didn't do very good. But if I tried it over and over and over and over again, I learned how to put it on. That is neuroplasticity. It's learning. Now, if somebody came along while I was putting this on and struggling with it, and they said, well, that poor guy, he needs some help. So here, let me help you do that. And it's okay sometimes to get help. First few times I put it on, actually, my wife did it for me. But eventually, I got to a point where I had to put this sling on myself without help. And if someone had helped me, that would have harmed the learning process. That is effectively neuroplasticity. And you know this if you've raised kids. Sometimes you got to leave them alone and let them learn how to put things on and how to do things on their own without you constantly trying to help them. Because the more you help them, the harder it is for them to learn. And the same thing applies, in my opinion, when we are dealing with a neurotypical world. We need to do things that are uncomfortable, that are not natural to us, that are difficult for us, like putting on a sling, so that in time, we learn how to do it. So number one is we need to apply neuroplasticity. That is to say, we need to change our brains. We need to learn. And number two is this. I have discovered that if I make it a game, that makes a huge difference. I mean, an absolute huge difference. Why is it? And you guys out there who are sports fans, you may want to answer this question for me, but why is it that people like to play football? It hurts. You go out there, you run into people, you bang into people, they're banging into you. That hurts. They're knocking you over. They're trying to take a ball away from you or your team. It's stressful. It wears you out, and people absolutely, positively love it. They love to do it. They love to watch other people do it. It's a game. I don't want to do it because I don't want to get hurt. Plus, I'm not very good at athletics. That's the real reason. But, sometimes when you make it a game, the hurt goes away. I mean, not literally, but the hurt is accounted for because, well, it's a game. So when I am dealing with a neurotypical world and learning how to communicate with these people and deal with these people and live with these people, and again, I'm in my 70s, I still haven't fully learned, and if I live to be 100, I'm not going to fully adapt, but I can improve constantly. And the way that I do that is, again, number two, is I make it a game to see how well I can do. And it's not that I'm going to make sure that nobody tackles me, but I'm going to understand that if I get tackled, if I fumble the ball, whatever, that's part of the game. That's part of the neuroplasticity, learning next time how to hang on to the ball, learning next time how to make it to the field goal or whatever they call that thing, learning next time how to avoid that tackle, learning. So make it a game. So how do you do that? Well, number 3 is I like to watch for nonverbal controls from neurotypical people because to them, yeah, it's a game. It's, as we talked about often on this channel, to neurotypical people, just socializing in general is a game where everybody is trying to win, and the supreme position, the winning goalpost, is to become the top of the heap, to become the alpha whatever. So to them, it's a game, and you're just an easy guy to tackle. So they, knock you over, figuratively speaking, sometimes literally. And that gives them a little ego boost, gives them some confidence, and so they go on to the next one. It's already a game to them, so if you make it a game, hey, well, you lose absolutely nothing, in my opinion. So you watch for those non-verbal controls that they use when they play the game. And when they play the game is, well, it's all the time. They're always in the middle of this game of reaching the alpha position. Number 4, here's how you do that. Or one of several ways. Number 4 is speak up, even if it sounds funny. I heard somebody say something to the effect, and you've heard this too, it's speak up even if your voice trembles or something to that effect. That's really good advice. So you may want to encounter somebody and, okay, make it a game. You're out and about, wherever you happen to go. Maybe you're at school, maybe you are at the shopping center, if anybody goes to shopping centers anymore. Maybe you're at the grocery store, but now you're going to play a game. You're going to play the speak up game. There's positions in football. I don't understand football and I don't care to, but I know there are positions. So you are going to tackle somebody by speaking to them. See how you do. And this is a stranger, and you see him, and you say something very awkward, very strange to you. You may say something like, how you doing? And they look at you like, what do you mean, how am I doing? They may give you a funny look, or they may say, fine, how are you doing? Hey, you scored a touchdown. Good for you. So it may sound strange, and I know that when I try to talk to people, there's something inside my head where my brain scrambles, and when my brain is scrambled, my speech scrambles. Well, how do I undo that scrambling? Neuroplasticity, learning. So what I do is I practice. I teach my brain to speak without scrambling. Speak up even if it sounds funny. Another thing you can do, number 5, is act up. Even if you look kind of odd, look kind of strange. Here's a game you could play or a move you could play. Again, when you're in a social circumstance of any kind, just try walking with confidence, just for the fun of it. I mean, hey, these people are strangers. Who cares? They're not going to see you again anyhow. And maybe if you're in school, maybe they will see you again. So maybe you're sending them a signal. And watch yourself. You walk past a window, maybe, just kind of glance and see how you're doing. Try, practice walking with confidence. And that's just one way to act out, or to act up is the way that I like to say it. So you're acting, but you are training your brain to do this naturally and normally, so it's not acting anymore. You're kind of fitting in. So you're speaking up, you're acting out or acting up. And when I say acting out, I don't mean having a meltdown. But another thing we do, and I notice this is kind of a small one, but have you ever had just kind of trembling hands because you're nervous? How do you play that game? Well, I don't know, because I don't have trembling hands, but I know a lot of people do. And one thing you might do is when your hands are trembling, shaking, you might want to just hold them up and look at them so other people can see that you can see that you're trembling. And when they see you trembling, they see that as a good sign for them, because that means you're a pushover and they're going to push you over. They're going to tackle you. But when you are cognitively aware of the fact that you are trembling and it's no longer a fear factor, at least they don't think it is because you're looking at your hand, that shows that you are in control of this. The trembling is not out of control, it is in your control. And you may want to couple some of these things. You may want to, by holding your hand up, you're acting up by speaking up and saying, gee, my hand's trembling. What's wrong with me? Maybe I have low sugar or high sugar, whatever makes your hand tremble. But what you're signaling to them is you're in control. So you're adapting your brain. Number 7, you knew I was going to come to this, and that is eye contact. This is a game that I really like to play with neurotypical people. I like to look them in the eye. Make it a game, and it's kind of fun to make them look away first. I know it's hard to do. It was terribly hard for me to do the first few times. Okay, first 100 times that I did it. But neuroplasticity, your brain adapts and then it becomes normal. Now, one way you may want to do this, now I don't suggest you do this often or a lot, maybe not at all, but one way you can do this is have a staring contest. And I don't mean glare at them like you're mad or mean or whatever, like you're a Maui warrior, but I mean just kind of look at them and glance at them placidly, peacefully, friendly demeanor until they look away. See if you can outstare them. And if they look away, congratulations, you got a tackle. Or you got a touchdown. Now here's another thing, number 7, is, practice making eye contact, neuroplasticity. But another thing you could do is smile. Nothing says I'm in control any more than a smile when you're dealing with other people. It's saying that I'm not afraid of you, I'm in control, I'm perfectly happy no matter what you do. And if the person you're dealing with is a jerk, and there's a lot of them out there, people who are psychopaths or, arrogant, sometimes you can go beyond a smile and kind of smirk at them. Okay, that's kind of tough to do, but hey, it's a game. Try it, see what happens. So this guy is, or girl, whoever it is being kind of a jerk, and look at him and go beyond the smile and you just kind of smirk at him like, who do you think you're talking to? Are you out of your mind? You're communicating non-verbally. Yeah, it's awkward, it's hard to do, and you have to stop and think about it, and they may glare you down, and you may back down. First few times, you may fail, you may get tackled. But eventually you'll get to the point through neuroplasticity that you're training your brain to, what do you call this? Outsmirk the other person, Try it. This is something that I do. And number 9 is this. One of the things I tend to do is avoid other people, avoidant personality disorder. If ever there was a poster child, a poster senior citizen for avoidant personality disorder, probably me, because I don't want, wherever people are, I just don't want to be there. But what I do is I force myself sometimes to be in those circumstances, even if I don't want to be, because it's changing my mind. So number 9 is hang around. When you're in those circumstances and you're being the wallflower and everyone is ignoring you and they're picking up on those nonverbal cues that you can't help to emit because you have autism and they're just kind of ignoring you because you're the oddball and you just want to escape just for the fun of it. And again, this is a game. Remember, this is a game. Just for the fun of it, hang around. Just for the fun of it. I mean, make it a game. Have a blast. Have a ball. They trying to ignore you, so walk up to them. You don't even have to say anything. Just kind of, get in their space a little bit. Don't overdo it, but again, hang around, make it a game. Let them know that, no, you're not going to be bullied out of the picture. There is a red dot. There's a rather green or blue dot. Lower right-hand corner of the screen, click on that, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to click the bell so you can get notifications. Then there's a rectangle for you to keep on watching because we have a whole library of videos we made in the past. And we'll see you all next time.